I wanted to actually frame my reflections off of the truly Abrahamic legacy. When we say the word, the Abrahamic legacy, what does that actually entail? What does that mean? And that to me really boils down to the fact that our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he referenced himself or he referred to himself, he says, "Ana da'watu Abi Ibrahim." I am the supplication of my father Abraham. So Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our prophet, our messenger, the last and final messenger, he is teaching us something about his identity. That he says that I am the dua of my father Abraham. And that dua, brothers and sisters, is a dua that we find in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ. This is upon the tongue of Sayyidina Ibrahim. رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ or يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِكَ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. O Allah, send from or resurrect from amongst them. رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ. Resurrect from amongst them. رَسُولًا مِّنْهُمْ. A messenger from them. And that messenger, what he will do is that he relays and conveys the signs. يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِ. That he will relay upon them the signs. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. And he will teach them the book and wisdom. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. And he will purify them. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Ya Rabbi, you are the Aziz, you are the magnificent one, the Hakim, the all-wise. This, brothers and sisters, was the generational concern of Sayyidina Ibrahim. He was keen, thoughtful, concerned to see that the sacredness of theology, of the oneness of God, of Tawheed, would be in the offspring of Sayyidina Ibrahim until the Day of Judgment. And that it will culminate in the person of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who's the last and final messenger. And so Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, I am the supplication, the dua of my father Ibrahim, i.e. that my father Abraham, he called upon God and he said, Ya Allah, make it that you will have those who are always in the process of relaying and conveying the ayat, the signs of Allah, and teaching the book, teaching the wisdom, i.e. the way of prophecy, and purifying. And subhanAllah, when all the other times when Allah responds to this particular notion of the objective of risala, of messengership, Allah, he says that he has sent amongst them, from them, a messenger, that what he does is that he relays the signs. But Allah, he brings forth tazkiyah, وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, and then he says, وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. So the 4 or 5 other times that this phraseology is used, Allah brings tazkiyah before ta'lim, before teaching. So Sayyidina Ibrahim asked for a particular order, but his order was based on, as some of the ulama indicate, the fact that his Rasuliyah, messengership, is concerned with teaching. And so he brought teaching before tazkiyah. But Allah, when Allah tells about what he then will be the case, he says it is those, yes, who relay the signs, that is principle. But before teaching, they purify. They do tazkiyah and then they teach. So there's so much to be said about this, but I only have a few minutes. I want to highlight that the project of our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in our day and age, until the end of times, from his time until the end of times, will always be the same simple triune that you and I always have to be mindful of, which is we're always reading the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the signs that are seen in creation, and the signs, i.e. that are revealed in the Quran, in the written book. Number 2, it is the process and the project of purification, that we are always in the process of realizing that our hearts, our minds, our thoughts they can be corrupted, they can be soiled, they can be polluted. So we need to purify. We purify ourselves inwardly and we purify ourselves outwardly. And lastly, brothers and sisters, we're always in the process of learning, of studying, of understanding, using these intellects and these minds so that we read, we conceive, we make sense of, we read history, we read the stories, we read the Quran, we study our sacred tradition, we read and study the way of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, read the sacred revelation, read the works of the ulama, read the text sciences and the contextual sciences. This simple rubric, right? This simple paradigm of absorbing the signs as they're coming in through divine revelation and through the seen world, then working on proactively purifying ourselves and purifying our families and our loved ones, spiritually and otherwise, thoughts and ideas. And number 3, always being people who learn and study. This is what ensures that you are part of the Abrahamic legacy. Doesn't matter how confusing the times become, because they will. Prophet says that you will come to a time, يَصِيرُ الْحَلِيمُ فِيهِ حَيْرَانٌ, where the forbearant person will become dazed and confused. You know, you don't know what you're looking at. And with the advent of AI and all these kind of other things, you don't really know often, and it's only going to become more confusing at times to what exactly am I looking at? What's what? What's up? What's down? What's left? What's right? But if you stay firmly embedded in these 3, mandates that were called by Sayyidina Ibrahim, that were asked by Sayyidina Ibrahim, and then affirmed by the messengership of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then consecrated in the Quran for us as our sacred inheritance, then you'll always know the straight path. You'll always know Sirat al-Mustaqim. And that is the Abrahamic legacy. That is that which we hope to embody in our lives every single day. Every single day, each and every single one of us have to be absorbing the signs of Allah, because Allah is sending us signs all the time in the seen realm. And if you read the Quran, you'll unlock, subhanallah, la hawla, look at that. Allah said this in the Quran 1400 years ago. Now look, subhanallah, you see the signs. And every day you have to be purifying yourself. Every day istighfar, every day tawbah, seeking forgiveness, repenting, every day cleansing, doing takhliyah of your thoughts, your bad habits, bad ideas. Maybe some of us have really bad ideas that we've been holding on to since we were teenagers. We learned some things in college. Some professor who has no idea what he or she, knows in terms of divinity and God, and then you held on to their ideas as if those are truth. No, perhaps I have to alter. Maybe there was some good. Maybe there was some stuff that I took on that I should not have taken on. So I leave that behind. Right? So you're purifying yourself every single day, and you're proactively invested in an idea. Because if you look in the world today, especially if you're on social media, see, people don't care about purification. It's just pressing the gas and moving 100 miles per hour with whatever subjective notions or ideas they have perceived to be as absolute truths. But it's a complete lie. It's a complete misrepresentation of reality. But because no one takes the time to pause, purify. But the believer, the one who is inheritor of Abraham, does that. And lastly, you study and you learn every day. Be wary, brothers and sisters, of living in this moment where people stop learning, stop studying, stop reading. Allah gave us these minds, and He expects that we utilize them. We study and we read. Iqra. We read. وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Oh Allah, increase me in knowledge.